Hey everyone, welcome to the Growin Up Podcast. We're your hosts. My name's Nevaeh,
And my name's Amber.
and we're back with a new video. I don't know why I do that. Maybe I just gotta I just need to pursue my YouTube dream so I can do that, This is not the time, this is not the space.
Anyways, welcome back again for another episode of the Growin Up Podcast. Today we are doing a coffee chat.
Woo! Man, we really need to get some sound effects in here. So as me and Amber have been planning our episodes and what we really want to talk about, we thought it would be a good idea to kind of incorporate would you call it a series, I guess? Yeah, right? Yeah, where one, it helps us also take the load off of having to think of another topic and whatnot, but also I think it would be just a nice and fun casual time for us to catch up on our month and kind of get to know us a little bit more as well and what we do in our day-to-day lives. So we have brought some coffee into the chat here that literally just got, what is it, like maybe 30 minutes ago. So we need to drink this because my ice is melting.
Before you drink, let's do a shout out to where we got. So if you guys haven't caught on, I live in Colorado. She lives in North Carolina. So hence why we're always split at the middle. But so I got my coffee from this place down the street. It's called Huckleberry Roasters. They're like a smaller-ish chain here in Denver, Colorado, and their coffee is amazing. So today I got an iced vanilla latte with oat milk, and this is usually my go-to. So that's what I'm drinking.
Yeah. How far is it away from where your area? Is it down the road or is this where you go to?
Yeah, this is my spot. So when I first moved here, there was one maybe a mile that direction.
Mm-hmm.
But it was only a walk-in. And then after a year of living here, they opened a drive-through a mile this direction. So even closer.
That's nice.
Closer. Yes, but it's a drive-through. So
that's the thing here in North Carolina. Drive-in coffee shops are not a thing besides Starbucks.
Yeah.
But other than that, it is hard to find even a drive-through Starbucks. So all of our coffee places are walk-in. So that's convenient.
I noticed that when I was there.
So I got my coffee from People's Coffee. Again, not too far, pretty close, one of the closest ones to me. But I don't know. I just recently started going there. Actually, the first time I went there was with Amber because Amber's like, you guys have no coffee. And I was like, yeah, you're right. But there is this coffee shop literally down the road that I've been wanting to try. So we went there together and it was good. But today I did get something new. I usually have a go-to order when I pick up in the morning. But I got the caramel apple sweet cream cold brew.
Wow.
I know. It was very festive.
Actually sounds pretty good.
I know. I'm kind of nervous though. I did take a little taste earlier and I didn't know. I don't know.
Is it strong?
It is strong.
Yeah, it's a cold brew. I love cold brew.
But it is a very interesting cold brew taste. I don't think I've ever had a cold brew that tastes like that unless it's the apple. But yeah.
Oh, gotcha. I don't think I've ever had a coffee with apple flavoring in it.
Me neither.
So that's different.
Yeah, I was gonna get the pumpkin one, but then I was like, that's basic.
Yeah, last night we went to a restaurant. It's a German restaurant, and they have brats and fries and beer. Mm-hmm. But I got a German margarita, and it was obviously tequila, but it had Aperol Spritz in there. I think it was.
Oh yeah.
And it had an apple instead of lime.
Oh.
A green apple. Yeah. And I was all ready to squeeze my lime. I was like, oh, this is an apple. Just swirled it around.
Wait, did it have a rim?
Yes, of salt.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I was thrown out because it was good.
What color was it?
A margarita color, green.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Maybe next time we'll have an episode where we drink margaritas.
Right? I hope. I did get a cocktail maker for my wedding registry.
Wow. Have you used it yet?
Yes.
Okay,
And
that was very convincing.
I just shook cranberry juice and tequila.
What? That's not even how you use it.
I know, but I just want to use it because I
Oh
haven't
my
been
god.
like able to use it. But it does come with little cards, so maybe there might be like a margarita one on there, and I can try it.
Well,
That's
with
cool.
that, I want to know, drop your guys' drinks down in the comments or
Mm-hmm.
let us know, like, what is your coffee? What kind of coffee do you drink? What kind of like
What's your
cocktail?
caffeine?
Yeah, what's your caffeine? What's your favorite like drink when you go out? Like mine's a margarita. If not a margarita, it's usually like a tequila soda, but I like tequila.
Yeah, mine's is a margarita as well. Oh, we also got pastries. So I am gonna be munching on this.
She's been so excited to eat her pastry. Yeah, so I mean, anyways, we really just these coffee chats are more to be just kind of free flowing and kind of like what's going on, what's the happening.
Mhm.
Because I mean, we have pretty busy lives too, so it'd be kind of cool to just share what's going on with that.
Yeah.
Oh, but we should still do our always learning. So let's
Oh
get into
yeah.
that. Let's share one thing that we learned since our last episode. Do you want to go first?
Yes. And I've been really bad at this. So I made a note in my phone about learning topics, and I only have one thing on there so far. But something I learned is so I've been on my own now for a couple years. Okay, a lot of years now. And this year was my fourth time making a turkey. My first time I made one was when I was 18. I was 18 and I made my first turkey by myself, literally by myself. And then the second time I made one was the year after. And then, yeah, 2 years ago is the last time. So, fourth time. What I learned this time was I learned how to brine a turkey. And like, I didn't know what I thought brine was. I was like, we need to season our turkey. Like, I want to try something new. So I found this box at the store and it was called, well, I thought it was just a seasoning packet. That's what I thought at first. But then I like got home, I was like, brine mix. And I was like, dang, like these are some pretty intense instructions. Then I had a meeting with my boss and then my boss was like, I'm brining my turkey. We put like a bunch of juices in there and then like you throw, I was like, oh wait, I think I'm doing that too. So it wasn't as like, I'm sure like making your own brine and whatnot, but now that I know how and the concept of like brining a turkey, I do think that next year I want to make my own brine mix and like really start working on perfecting a turkey. Like I think I've dedicated my life to making a good turkey. I want to be that person in the future where like of the family, when they're like, Nevaeh's turkey. That's what I want to be. So I learned how to brine turkey. And that's my goal.
That's random as fuck. Like, oh, it's usually like someone's like mac and cheese or like their yams. Like, no, her turkey. We want her turkey.
Okay, Amber, you don't gotta hit on the one thing I bring to the table for my learning.
No, that's cool though. Yeah, making a turkey is hard. I've only made a turkey maybe once since maybe more than once, but like once where I actually like took the time and cared about my turkey.
It is a process, and I think now that I understand like the concepts of like how to make like a decent turkey, you know what I mean, like a good turkey, I think now I know I want to make it like better. So
yeah,
I'm excited for this journey. I don't know if this is adulthood coming on to me, but
oh my god, that's funny.
What did you learn, Amber?
Okay, so I didn't put a lot of thought into this like you did, so this is kind of just me on the spot right now. Ooh, what did I learn? I would say the thing that I learned this week was probably okay, this is gonna be very nerdy and it's kind of going with the theme here of AWS, but I learned how to get video content to you using the tools that I use, like cloud computing, so like AWS. So rather than like, because I don't know if people know, but it's very hard to transfer large files that are like over, like multiple gigabytes of memory or like of data. So usually it's hard to like transfer stuff like that in the cloud and keep things. But because of what I know with AWS, I was able to upload it into what's called an S3 bucket. And then I was able to get a link, make a link from that S3 bucket and send it to you so you could download it. And I even kept security measures in there where I only allowed the link to be valid for 6 hours. So
Wow.
because people try to hack things like S3 buckets and things like that whole data. So you got to be a little cautious about how you're handling it. But yeah, and
Yeah.
you got the full data and you got like
And you
highest
sent it,
resolution.
yeah, and you sent it via text, which is kind of,
Yeah.
now that you're telling me that, I was like, wow, she sent this long as 52-minute video over text.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of crazy. And
Yeah.
it was clear. That was the other thing I was telling Amber, because when we take our thumbnails, we take, well, what we've been doing was taking them from like when we're, recording, but the files were so clear. So I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was I was kind of proud of myself because I'm like, wow, like this stuff actually works if you work it.
Right. Right. Now you can add
Yeah.
that like on your like list of things you know how to do.
True. Well, I know like a lot of people use AWS and like the intense cloud computing for music. So like people who do music across
Oh.
like how we're doing this, they transfer
Hmm.
music files like that so it keeps all of that integrity of the quality, I guess.
Yeah.
So I know some people do that, but it was kind of cool to see it with video as well.
Yeah. That is cool. And you think that goes to show like what, when people like want to go to school for like music, like those kind of things, like you have to learn. And I'm sure that they learn
They're
that
important.
in their like degrees and whatnot, which, makes you a better person in the industry. So that would be a cool conversation to have with somebody if, anybody's
Yeah.
into music, and what if you're going to school for music. I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah. It's funny because like I recently got into technology. Like now I'm probably like 3 years into it, but for me that's kind of recent because I wanted to get into first it was music and then it was like nursing, medical field. I wanted to get into everything else. But now that I think about it, I think I've always been a like little techie because
Oh yeah.
music is like technology. And
Yeah.
when I talk
Yeah.
to a lot of the people I work with, they're all into music. They're all musicians and well, not all of them, but a lot of them.
Yeah.
And like music producing and editing is totally technology.
Oh
And
yeah.
like I don't so I like now it comes to me naturally because I've always been into that types of stuff, but I think I should have known this sooner.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think that's interesting because, you think about like software, like I still have trouble like downloading software, and like once you get past that, and I feel like in music that was what you did a lot, was you
Yeah.
always needed some sort of software or something like that.
Yeah. Also too, I think about it, which is kind of weird because when I was younger, I had a laptop pretty young, right? I actually when computers were first popping off when I was younger, like our parents got a computer and that's kind of where I really got started. But when laptops like became more prominent, I got my first laptop pretty young. And for some weird reason, I was really good at like putting like antivirus software on my laptop. Like I don't know where I learned that or like why that became like most people just get a laptop and they don't care, right? But like when I was young, I was like, oh, I need some software to keep my computer safe and like all this random ass shit. But I'm
That's
like, why was I
cool.
even thinking about that? Like, do you think about that?
No. No, I
Yeah,
don't.
see?
No, I don't. I also learned this week how to install my little hardware drive over here that I got for podcast videos and whatnot. So, hey, I can
Yeah.
only go up from here, right?
Yeah. Yeah. No, she
That's
was really
awesome.
proud of that. She had messaged me to let me know that she installed her drive.
And I did it within the 6-hour time mark that you gave me for downloading the video.
Oh my God.
That's funny.
Yeah.
How has so I have spent Thanksgiving without Amber for how many years now? Couple of years now, 5 years now.
All the years.
All the years. So me and Amber haven't been together for like Thanksgiving in a long time. I don't know. I feel like Thanksgiving for us has always been something that was kind of low key. So even like, I don't know, growing up.
Yeah.
So, anyways, it's so funny to hear like what we all do for Thanksgiving. So, Amber, what did you do for Thanksgiving?
Well, this Thanksgiving, like she said, it's always kind of a low key. Like Thanksgiving to me, I love Thanksgiving. Don't get me wrong. I love the food, love the vibes, but it's not one of those most important holidays for me. So this year, I actually spent Thanksgiving with my 2 dogs. My girlfriend went back to Arizona to go spend it with her family, which I was totally okay with. You know, it's hard when you have dogs. Like that's the thing. Like you kind of got to compensate, and especially for holidays, it's so hard to find a dog sitter. So
yeah,
we compensated, you know. But yeah, I just hung out. I edited the podcast video. I got that out. I did a little bit of live streaming on Twitch. Went to the gym, and I got some coffee. And yeah, also random story. I went to go find some seltzers, so like some high noon seltzers.
Yeah,
and I was like, it was late in the day. I was like, I don't even know if anything's gonna be open right now. Yeah. But I found this liquor store down the street, and it was open. I was like, oh, I got to talk to the guy a little bit and get my seltzer.
That's cool.
Go home.
That's
yeah,
cool.
no. But when I was driving around, dispensaries are open. Like that must be a thing on Thanksgiving. Like
yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Priorities, right?
Yeah, liquor stores and dispensaries. They were both open. If you want to know next year.
That's funny. That's funny.
Yeah, so that's what I did. Nothing really. I got invited to a couple Thanksgivings, but I was kind of just feeling like staying home. Plus, I don't know if you guys caught in the last episode, but I broke my tailbone. So driving and sitting where I don't have like a cushion is kind of hard right now.
That's funny. Oh, yeah. I get I didn't even think about that. No wonder why you brought that up, because going somewhere with your pillow to sit on the chair. Yeah, I get it now. I caught on. Nice.
What did you do?
Oh, well,
besides become the turkey queen.
Besides my turkey. Yeah, no, we had a little, did some cooking yesterday, had a little Thanksgiving meal for me and AJ, my husband. And so it was just us and the dogs, and we ate probably around like 4:30. So we were still able to sleep in. We slept until like 9ish. And then put the turkey in. Yeah. So it was nice. It was nice. Yesterday was nice because I just got to hang out, eat some more leftovers. But I'm turkeyed out. I'm turkeyed out. So after making this turkey, I am turkeyed out. No, I could really go for a hamburger or something, some sort of American food.
So random.
But yeah, no, that's basically what we did. Just the most common kind of meal, which last year was just us as well, because we did get married in October. So the past overall year has been, full of that. So last year we also spent Thanksgiving here, also because we went out to Hopi a couple weeks before that, and we ate at Golden Corral. So I was I don't want to do anything. So if anybody doesn't want to cook that year, go to Golden Corral because they're open. They're busy, but they're open. I was also super surprised to see how many people were there on Thanksgiving. Yeah, but I get it. No. So I had to make up today. I had to make up this year for that.
Damn. From Golden Corral to Turkey Queen.
Upgrades, people, upgrades.
No, after last year, we also spent, we went to Golden Corral. We were influenced by Nevaeh and her husband. So we went to Golden Corral so last year. But I was also very surprised how many, we stood in line for a good hour to get in. Yeah. And I thought it was so cute because there was this church group with kids in front of us, and it was kind of heart-filling just to see them, and I stood behind them in line for an hour. So I got to watch them, and I was like, oh, they were so cute. And then they all had their food, and then they dipped out.
That's cool. Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. I was gonna steal one of them. Kidding.
I wasn't gonna say it. I wasn't gonna say it, but you did. Yeah. I was gonna say, when you said you wanted to steal one of them, but then I was like, anything.
Yeah, they were.
That's
so cute,
cool though. That's cool. How does your month of December look for you? I know we're heading into a new month. The first is tomorrow. That's also my
tomorrow.
husband's birthday. So happy birthday, AJ. But yeah, do you have like, what are you heading into for December? Maybe like work wise specifically
Yeah.
before the
Well,
holidays.
yeah. Well, the nice thing about being in technology and like going into holidays is they have this thing called a freeze change. So because there are so many people taking holidays off, like you have to account for all the people that are being gone. They don't really like you making big major changes into technology.
Mm-hmm.
So halfway through the month, they stop that. So basically, we can't really do a lot. So it's kind of just like a good time for us to learn and a good time for us to like catch up on things, like do some housekeeping items that we haven't done because we can't introduce any new changes because we have a smaller staff basically.
Mm.
So this time of the year, it actually slows down in my field. But next week, actually tomorrow, I am catching a flight and I'm going to Vegas. And I'm going to the AWS reInvent conference. It's like this big, it's actually the biggest technology conference in the US and probably in the world, honestly. I
Dang.
think there's like more than 60,000 people that go. It's a week long. Yeah, it's a pretty penny to get in. So I was actually funny. I was calculating how much money they probably made based off like how much the conference pass was and then how many people go. This thing is like $1 billion plus conference. Like,
Dang.
yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. But it is also hosted in Vegas, which is kind of wild.
True. Yeah.
Bunch
So
of
I'm
techies
excited
go
for
wild.
that. Yeah, I'm so excited. I was flustered at first because there's so many things that are going on and like you kind of build your agenda on like what you want to attend. So it's basically just a time for you to go and learn about like you can choose whatever you want. You can choose to learn more about AI, you can learn about more of their actual like resources that they offer. And then one thing that I thought was actually very cool that I wanted to get into, but I have no reason to go there because it's nothing with my field, but they're doing a lot about sports analytics. So AWS has been working a lot with NFL to do their AI and their data analytics for like, I don't know if you've seen, like if you watch a football game, sometimes they go like sponsored by AWS and then they have all their circles and then they like do the probability.
Yeah.
They had a lot of like I think AI in the sports field is like on the rise.
Boosting,
so they had a lot of they had a lot of choices for that. And I really wanted to go, but it has nothing to do with what I do. So I'm like, I'll stay away.
You should just do like one session.
Yeah, true. That's very true. But one thing I found is it's called a fireside chat for Indigenous in technology.
Oh.
So I really like want to show up to that and make sure that I like attend
That'll
that
be
and
cool.
see if I can make any connections. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited for you. I love conferences. I really do. Big or small. I was a huge conference goer like in high school and like all the way up until now. I feel like I'm always at a conference for some reason. I'm just always they're so fun. I hope you meet a lot of new people because I feel like that's the best. And like when you make connections, and you should see next year if they have like what kind of like resources they have. Like, you know, sometimes they have like
to go on your own. Yeah. Because this year it's funded through work, but I was looking at that because I was on the reInvent side of TikTok and I seen that some people get like grants for it through AWS and other things like that. So I'm like, I could keep going if I found my own money.
Yeah. And
if
you
work
could
doesn't
also
want to send me.
I know like a lot of the conferences. Last time I went to the American College sports medicine like conference that they have because I was in exercise and sports science, and I actually did I submitted an abstract, and that's when I went to Boston and I presented on my thesis work. So when I went, but I got funded to go to it to be part of the like leadership and diversity program, and I actually did the same program in a like regional conference at Southeast. So yeah, I think like what I've learned through that is that like you can always build leadership within the conference. So like I don't know if they have one on there, but sometimes they have like a big meeting, and it's like a town hall meeting where like people, the president of the conference and stuff like that, they like meet and they talk about like what's being done to help promote these kind of learning things. So I think it would be cool if you could like look for something like that.
Yeah, for sure.
That's cool though.
Yeah.
I'm excited for you, no, for real. And I hope you enjoy Vegas and all the fun things that come with Vegas. No hangover experiences, please. Just
No,
kidding.
no. That's a nice thing. These some of the sessions start at 8 a.m. So I'm like, I gotta go to bed. But it's crazy because so many people have been hitting like me or my manager, and then they forward like all the invites to me.
Mhm.
But because there's so many, like tech is a crazy world. So there's a lot of people, like a lot of sales going on, right? They want you to get their use their new software. So they be setting up like some expensive ass dinners. Like they're like, hey, if you want to spend 60 minutes with us, like we can talk with you, we can buy you some drinks, come to this event. Like, so all
Wow.
nights there, we've gotten invites for every night. And that's why I was overwhelmed because my schedule was so packed, and I was
Yeah.
hoping I didn't agree to any night things, because now I'm like, I don't know if I can.
That's cool. Because you're like a
Yeah.
representative, like, because you're with
Yeah.
us. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they want you. That's
They're
cool.
trying to sell to you. Yep.
Yeah. 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 That's cool.
But
Well, awesome.
yeah, it's good experience though, because like
Mm-hmm.
one day I hope to get into management in, my field, and knowing how to have conversations with those people, and like how to navigate that, like how to
Yeah.
say no, how to like
Yeah.
learn about the
Yeah.
things that are important to learn. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Like what you should be looking for and like
mm-hmm.
what makes overall a great partnership, I guess, overall.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's cool.
And the more
That's cool.
people, the merrier.
Mm-hmm. It's funny because after I like graduated and I was talking to my advisor, I was like, please don't let us just be the people that meet up and make like plans to do stuff at conferences and whatnot. Cause like I feel like that's always like the vibe I get
Oh.
from like watching professionals is that like they go and they meet somebody and they like who they haven't seen, they went to like grad school with a long time ago, and then they like start talking about like different concepts and ideas on how to make like partnerships or new research studies and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of cool to see how that might like reflect in your world and my world, because two very different worlds, but also maybe not.
Yeah, maybe not. But yeah, so that's my December. I'm hoping for it to be pretty chill for the most part, and heading into, I love New Year's when it comes to work and personal life. Like, so I'm looking forward to 2025.
Yeah, that's exciting. No, for real. For me, my December. Thanks for asking, Amber.
I was getting there.
So my December of 2024 is, I think, pretty chill for the most part. I did, if y'all didn't hear back in a couple episodes, I did get a job. So big girl job here. So I have been really going through, I guess the ringer, so like trying to figure out like where I'm at in the department, my tasks and my duties, and overall trying to like figure out how to make myself a better professional. I think that was like something I knew going into like a new job or into like my very first like big girl job, full-time job, is that I really wanted to build my professional skills prior to going into med school or applying for med school. I think that was just like my own personal goal. So I think like during this time with it being so and so quieter, it depends on when we say like quieter for like research. I think it's just like less projects that people want to do from like the doctors and whatnot. So usually that's what they mean by slow down. But we still have like a lot of participants, and we do use this time to really try to get like participants in who like might have like a slow schedule going on, because I work with pediatrics. So like this is our perfect time to try to bring these kids in who are on break for different research studies. And also I work in trauma, so like the likelihood of different like traumatic events is statistically higher during the winter.
Really?
Yeah, because like there's
Wow.
more like weather conditions. There's a lot more like it's cold outside, so a lot more like just
more
I feel like that's
tailbones broken.
Yeah, I think it has to do a lot with like weather conditions and like with it the night going down, or the day being smaller of daylight. So like that too. Animal activity, you'll see a lot more like deers and whatnot. So like
safety moment.
Right, safety moment. So I don't actually know, like, because this is my first time in like clinical research, I don't really know what to expect, I guess, as far as like as what this is gonna look like or how I should prepare. But definitely a lot of like work going on at the department, which is like, it's stressful, but at the same time I think that these like moments will be good learning moments for me. So I think that's just like my everyday, but mainly just like as I'm coming into a new year and coming up to like I started July. I started my job in July. What is that? August, September, October,
5
November.
months.
Oh yeah, 5 months. Which
Oh,
yeah. And also going into New Year planning for med school. So I've been definitely trying to do a lot of like looking for resources, just planning for my MCAT and like that kind of stuff. So again, I'm excited for the new year, but also like a little bit scared because I'm running out of time. And I think
oh my God, here we go again.
maybe that's what it is. Maybe I don't know if anybody can like, psychologists out there watching this, please help me. Yeah, no, I that's kind of just been on my list, and also trying to get our footing back after the wedding. I think that also kind of took a toll on us here. Is just really trying to bounce back from hosting an event and all that to just getting back into our routine and whatnot. So it's definitely been a lot of building up, but I definitely do like want to kind of incorporate. This is my like starting point. Like on tomorrow, my plan in my head is to like spend more times like building routine back up and whatnot after being in such a slump, with it being a new month. So I'm trying to use this December 1st as a turning stone for me.
Yeah. Well, you know me, I've always been like a big advocate for the like new year, new me thing.
Yeah.
But what I've learned is it's always nice to start like a month or two earlier than the new year, because then you don't feel cliche. And when you're going into January, like you're already established it. So I don't know if you know, but they always say like the gyms get busier in January, right? Because everyone's trying to get to the gym. But if you start a little bit earlier, it makes you not feel uncomfortable by the time like everyone else is new. You're like, okay, I've already kind of established myself in this area. So it is good to actually start your things a little bit earlier.
Okay.
Then.
Okay.
And it's always good to do your new year planning at least like by November. I mean, you're a little behind. November, December. No, but it's good to do your goals and everything like rather than starting the first day of 2025. It's good to do it now, so
for some reflection and I definitely agree, and we'll see.
That's funny. How's it been like being a newly like wed? Like, is it much different than from when you first, because I mean you're talking about like how you guys are kind of recovering from the wedding, but like is there a new way forward? Like, are you guys trying to learn how to be husband and wife, or is it not feel different?
That's a good question. I don't know, a lot of people do ask like, oh, like how does it feel, how you doing? And like I think at least for us, because like we live together already, like we pay bills together already, and like I would say that I did a lot of wifely duties prior to like us being like, engaged and married. Like I manage all his security documents and stuff like that. Like all that stuff, like I've kind of taken on. So like I think as far as like dynamic, nothing's really changed. I do think that like what has kind of like come across in our conversations a lot being like newlyweds is like the idea of like what's next, and like what do we want to accomplish next. And like especially with me like planning to go to med school and whatnot, and like having that in our future, I think trying to really build off like our relationship and what I guess the steps that do come after with that. So like, is that buying a house, working towards buying a house, or we don't, for the people that are wondering, we are holding off on kids. So if you wanted to know that, there's the answer. It's funny. Did you see after we had the wedding, I was putting in my notes on Instagram, like, no, I'm not having kids. Did you see that?
Oh, yeah.
And then it was like, no, we're not going back to Arizona soon or something like that. So yeah, even just like that too, I think that also brings up a good point. Like we don't know where we're going to move next, and we don't know how long we're going to stay here for. I know I want to like grow in my job too as well. So like starting that whole like basically like a small career and whatnot. So I think it's just really trying to like what to do with these opportunities and how like to puzzle them together has as I think is what is the overwhelming part of being like a newlywed, because
Yeah.
you know now you
Because
have
on
to
top of
consider
that,
for
like,
both of you.
yeah, and on top of that, you guys are like you just finished, your graduate
Yeah,
studies. So it's like not only are you now married, but you also have a new job, first job, like, and
yeah.
then you also just stopped being a student. So now you're like a professional. And
Yeah, I did. So funny story that you like say that, because I went to the eye doctor because I was like I'm trying to hit all my appointments now that, that the like wedding's over and whatnot. Take care of myself. So I went to the eye doctor and I was like talking to, you know, my optometrist. I'm thinking about potentially doing like LASIK eye surgery down the road. Like I'm gonna be a med student. I want to be a surgeon. I think that would be more convenient for my lifestyle and my career.
Mhm.
And she was just like, yeah, she was like, I think that like down the road, maybe that would be an option, but like your eyes are still, you know, changing. And once you like hit a plateau, then you can actually start considering LASIK, because it fixes what the vision is now. It doesn't stop it from changing. So if your eyes are going to change more in the futures to come, that's going to affect their LASIK eye surgery. So that's why they tell you to wait until, you know,
Your
your
eyes are
your
developed.
eyes are developed and mature, I guess. Anyways, but I was telling her, I was like, okay, I was like, well, that's good to hear. Like, I'll definitely like consider that. She's like, but it does look like your eyes are changing. She goes, based off of like what you told me, it seems like you're going through like a really like stressful transition, like with like your marriage and like you finishing grad school to being like in work and stuff like that. I was like, damn. Like I'm just sitting, I was like, yeah, that's a lot of changing events right there, and it's affecting my eyes. Great to hear. And it was just funny because I didn't really like, obviously like I'm not very like, I'm working on being self-aware of like what it is
Mhm.
I'm experiencing, and like how sometimes I just don't understand how big these moments are and like how
Yeah.
that might affect me directly. Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of been what I, you know, working on. Lots of, I feel like it's funny because this podcast kind of like starting this back up really captured me at a time as a, like a before, during, and like hopefully an after. So like I feel like they're really getting a good example of like me growing up essentially and like taking
True.
on these new experiences. Which like if I look back and watch our old videos, like obviously my answers will probably be different now than during those times.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of things going on. I think it's good though that you're like learning to be self aware because that'll help a lot. And I think even not even just like your mental health, but also like your physical health. Like,
Yeah.
like that's a big thing. You don't really notice how much like your body reacts to things like stress.
Oh yeah.
Um, yeah, and like I told you, I've been listening to that book, Rewire Your Anxious Brain. Like that thing is
Yeah.
that learning more about your brain actually is very helpful, especially for people who have anxiety and like
Yeah.
panic attacks and stuff like that. Like it's a good book. You guys should listen, and it's on Spotify.
Yeah. I might have to listen to that. Yeah, no, just yes, definitely lots of transitions, which also I feel like, well, it is like, in the moment a lot, like, but I
Hmm.
also I'm excited to know that, things aren't staying the same, and it like I'm not getting comfortable and just like, yeah, I would be concerned if things weren't changing essentially. Like that, I feel like
Yeah,
that would just be like me being, you know,
yeah.
in one
No,
spot. So that's awesome that I can't wait to see what happens.
yeah. That's awesome though. I think I personally get very flustered and like stressed out when things aren't changing, and I sometimes it can like kick me in the ass because I'm always trying to strive for something. And like, yes, that's good. Like it's a good thing. But like sometimes I get in this mentality that I'm never satisfied.
Yeah.
So like it's very hard for me to be comfortable. Like even
Yeah.
just sitting down and watching TV, like that's so hard for me because I'm like, oh, I could go clean, I could go do this, like I could do that. Like
Yeah.
so I have a very hard time relaxing. Like I am just
Yeah.
always on the go.
Uh, how, are you a spring cleaner or like a winter cleaner, like deep cleaner? What is your take on that? Because sometimes people really take like the time to declutter during the winter because it's cold
Um,
on the outside.
I do both.
Oh my
I do spring cleaning and I do fall cleaning.
Did your fall cleaning already occur?
It did, yes.
Oh,
And
wow.
now I have 2 totes that need to go to donations. No, but one thing that I've done recently is I really use I'm getting into Apple's like native apps. So I've been using the Reminders app, and I have it linked with my girlfriend, and we basically have like to do things. So you can like say, oh, sweep and mop the kitchen and living room every 4 weeks. So like we click it off when we do it, and then in 4 weeks it reminds us again to do it. So those kind
Wow.
of cleaning things, yeah, like with that we have it all like
Yeah.
scheduled. But like deep cleaning to me, what that means is like getting rid of shit. Like
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
yeah. So that I do in the spring, and then I do in the fall. But
Dang.
the hardest part is taking the damn boxes to the donation box.
Yeah.
Like that is the hardest part.
That is, because I did clean out this closet recently because we are going to decorate for the holidays. And I like put like a bunch of stuff in my car to like, I was like, I'm going to take this to Goodwill because it's in my car. Tell me how it ended up in my trunk, and it's still in my trunk. So I was like, maybe if I like clean out my closet and then add more to it, I'll just be more, compelled to take it to Goodwill.
Yeah.
No, that's crazy.
No, it doesn't. Because we had ours in here too. It was chilling there. And then I was like, okay, let's take it down to the garage. We took it down to the garage right by where the truck is parked. And it's still like I added more to it, honestly. Yeah.
That's crazy. I'm crying though. You gave Jess a chores list.
I did. And it's really cool because you can assign people. So really like
cool.
you can assign people things. So like, for example, the turtle tank, like that's more of her responsibility. Her turtle, her tank. No, but that like I had her little bubble with her picture next to it on the list. So
oh yeah, we do that for our bills on the Notes app. Like you can assign people that on Notes as well.
Mm-hmm. We use reminders for notes. I mean, no, sorry. We use
bills?
the reminders apps for bills. Yes.
I should do that, AJ.
Yeah.
You're listening to this, you're getting a chores list.
If anyone wants me to walk them through my digital organization, like I have a really good digital organization going.
Or if you want to hear AJ and Jess's take on Amber's chores list, let us know if you would like a couples video.
Too. I would like to say that mine is helpful because
bing bong.
You know what to expect. Yeah.
With those bing bongers.
I mean, and there are some days where, like you look around, you're like, oh, it already looks swept. Like I'm going to sweep in 3 more days anyway. Like, let me just click that. If you miss a day, sometimes I do that. Like,
dang, you get penalized for missing a day?
No, it just says like this was due yesterday. So then I'm like, but it's set for every 3 days. So I'm like, I can just go another 2 days. And so I'll like click it and then I'll still do it. But like, it just reminds you.
Yeah, I thought you were giving Jess like taking away her golden sticker like on SpongeBob like, because she didn't. Yeah, because she skipped out on a chore. That's crazy. Yeah.
That'd be funny. Actually, I should do that. I'm just kidding.
Dang. Jess, Danny, Riley.
That's funny.
Danny would only have 1 star.
Yeah. So did you go Black Friday shopping?
No. Oh my gosh, though. So we live by a mall, right? Like literally across the street from a mall. And AJ went to work at 6 a.m. As he was going to work, he calls me at 6:10 a.m. and was like, dang, babe, there's a lot of people out here at the mall for some reason. I'm like asleep. I was like, I cooked all day. I'm sleeping right now. So I was like, cool, it's Black Friday. And he was like, oh, okay, whatever. And then I wake up and I take the dogs out to use the restroom. And I'm like, why are there so many people out? Like there's cars being used. It was backed up. And then AJ was coming home around like 2-ish or so. And he FaceTimes me. He's like, look at all this traffic. From his work to our house, it took him 15 minutes to get home.
Damn.
Yeah, because it was so backed up. And then all night, like, because Target's right here, I'm assuming people were walking from Target to the mall. And I was like, dang, what kind of deals are going on? Because, like, I just seen a TikTok that was like, Black Friday being a thing back in the day, and then like every year, they keep the deal longer and longer, so there's no like need to go on Black Friday.
Yeah.
So I was like, damn, what is going on at the mall? But there was so much traffic, so much foot traffic. It was crazy. It was crazy. So that's why we didn't leave yesterday. Well, I didn't leave. It was an apocalypse out there.
Right. That's crazy.
Sorry.
We went out, but I honestly forgot it was Black Friday. Like, we didn't go out shopping, but
I was gonna say, I thought
we were hanging out downtown. And yeah, first off, I was really upset because we were just going to go eat, but the parking that we parked in first initially, it was $30, and it was like for the event, and I'm like, what event? Like, there is nothing going on. Like,
was it shopping event?
And no, I don't know. It just said $30, so we like went to go find a street parking, which was only $4, so saved us some money there. But I still don't know what event was going on.
Yeah. Well, I also got onto Black Friday shopping TikTok.
Oh my God.
We're not gonna talk about it. So I seen that JCPenney's was doing their like coupons, and I don't actually like. Maybe it's because I'm getting older and I'm attracted to JCPenney's or something, but apparently they were giving $500 off $500.
Wow.
Yeah, like there was coupons that had that. So I seen like a bunch of people that like posted like that their mom got it or something like that, and then like it's just them trying to use the $500 at JCPenney's because there was also restrictions I heard. So like it was like only specific stuff. So people were like,
so they were literally just trying to give away their stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I also want to watch because okay, I am a consumer. Like I admit it. Like Amber always tells me you overconsume, and I was like, well, I just played that role in, the United States. I am the consumer. Anyways, but I did after I seen that video, I got onto the like overconsumption on Netflix, that series, like
oh yeah, I watched that too.
Yeah, and so I got into that, and then I was like, oh man, maybe I should watch it because like also people were posting videos of TJ Maxx and how much like stuff was there. And I was like, oh my God, like, what is going on? So, yeah, no, I was overwhelmed. And I think I was mainly because I wasn't part of it. I was seeing it, which is scary.
Is that why you asked me about my straw?
Yeah. Hey, now. But yeah, no, I did hear there was actually a lot of good deals. I know we have a Lululemon here, and like a lot of their leggings were like $60. And their leggings are $100. So
yeah,
good. there was like bras, like sports bras for like $20, and I was like, dang, for a Lululemon sports bra. So who knows? It might have been very good deals. I don't know.
Right. I used to work in retail. I worked at Nike for like almost 3 years, and I hated Black Friday. Like
I worked in retail too.
Oh yeah, you did.
Mm-hmm. And I did work a Black Friday. Yeah.
Was it insane?
I was actually.
I should have went to Ulta.
You should have. They actually. Your dry shampoo was buy one get one free.
Yeah. Dang it! I literally just bought one last week.
Yeah, but no, when I did it, I was telling AJ because that was the first year I cooked the turkey because I was a holiday worker, and then I couldn't go home for Thanksgiving that year because I worked Black Friday. And so I was telling AJ that like I was the like nighttime person, and this was in like 2019, so right before the COVID happened, and I was the like 9 p.m. to like 2 a.m. person, and then they reopened the store at like 6 a.m. and there was so many people, and I was overwhelmed, and I don't work in retail ever after that.
Yeah, that's insane. It's insane. But you're right, because like by the time I left Nike, like the sales were through the whole weekend, and sometimes through that before Black Friday. So like there would be a sale before, and then it would just change up a little for like the weekend. So like you kind of know. I wouldn't say it's a scam. Yes, there are good deals, but you don't have to rush on Friday. The same deal would probably be there on Saturday. Yes, some things may sell out, but I mean, I'd rather go in a calm day than.
Yeah, I did that TikTok I seen. It was funny because it was like, I actually don't remember the like exact dates, but it was like basically like two corporate workers like talking to each other, and like one was like, what time should we release the deal out? this day, and they were like, it was like 2006 or something like that, and they were like 6 a.m. and then they're like, okay, people will be waiting at the door at 5 a.m. and then the next year they were like, what time should we release today? And they're like 5 a.m. and they like kept going up and up and up until like they're like, we'll release at 12 a.m. and then the last one was like, we already released the deals. It was funny because they were like talked about like, oh, like, you know, it's a whole week now.
Yeah, so that's insane. Do you know why it's called Black Friday?
No.
It's called Black Friday. Well, at least this is what I think and what I learned. But because most retail companies are actually under profiting until Black Friday, until this holiday weekend. So it's like they're in the red the whole year until Black Friday weekend is when they meet their threshold, and then they finally start profiting from Black Friday through Christmas.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Also, though, I am going to look into, what is it called? Travel Tuesday or something like that.
Yeah. I never heard of that, honestly. I've heard of Cyber Monday. That's my favorite. Cyber Monday is my favorite holiday since I learned what Cyber Monday is.
I'm pretty sure the travel one is like when they do a bunch of like deals on travel fair.
Oh yeah, I think Mom bought something last year. Our mom is always traveling
with her dog
to us. She's traveling to us, which is great.
That companion.
Yeah, now she has a little dog, so she has a little travel buddy.
Yeah, so lots of good events coming, I guess. I don't know. Excited for the new year. Again, lots of things to look forward to always. But also with that, I think a lot of also changes going for the podcast as well. Obviously, our goal with the podcast is always to get better and kind of give you guys some quality content.
Yeah, we've been doing a lot of
vamps
improvements. Yeah, I guess we're calling it a revamp with the podcast. So we started off not knowing what we were doing. I mean, we knew some basic things, but like we started this thing off knowing nothing. Obviously we took a lot of months off, so we did have that time to kind of like think about how we wanted the direction of the podcast to go. But even just these past couple of weeks, we've made a lot of improvements, like just in our process of working together, making sure that we're able to get these out quicker, that we're not spending as much time on like the editing and stuff like that. So we're getting the routine down. It's getting improved. We've also been getting very creative lately, which is like nothing new for us. Not to brag about it, but like we were in a slump. Like we were overthinking, I think is what we were doing. We were overthinking.
I agree.
But with that being said, we are going to release some new additions to the podcast, as you can call it. Nevaeh here has actually been making some nice animation endings, hoping we can get it just a little bit more get a little bit more traction and a little bit more umph to it, so that it's more enjoyable for you guys. So yeah, that's something that we hope to push out here in the next couple weeks, and a new logo. We're hoping to get some good feedback on that logo, and overall just revamp what we've been building here, and hoping that next year we also get to continue that. And
excited for all of the good things to come. I think that, you know, we want to put a lot of our own like character into a lot of the things that we're putting out there, and in hopes of like, you know, learning from y'all, but also learning from us, and, you know, that whole good process. So excited to also get to interact with you all more. Again, like we've said in previous videos, trying to keep involved with our social media, but we'd also love to hear from you all. Hope to pull in some guests and people that are in our lives and have taught us a lot as well. So hopefully to bring in a lot more people. So definitely stay tuned for the episodes to come, and keep up with us on our socials, our Growin Up Podcast, and hopefully we'll see a TikTok coming soon, a reel coming soon, some more content for y'all. But it was nice chatting. Thanks for having coffee and pastries with us. We hope that you all got some good updates on us in our personal lives, but also podcast wise as well. So thanks for listening.